let's get things started. I'll start off by introducing myself. My name is Chad Collier. I'm the chief pilot here for Adorama. A little bit of background about myself. I was in law enforcement in the state of Michigan for over 10 years. During my time as a police officer, I started working with drones, started working with the, collaborated with the state police here in Michigan to start developing policies, procedures, training, curriculum, things like that, to find ways to integrate drones into local municipalities. From there, I got out of law enforcement. I started focusing on drones full time. I started working for a tech startup on the East Coast with kind of a global public safety mindset behind it. Had a ton of great, valuable experience that I learned there. From there, came back to Michigan and started working for an industrial inspection drone service provider. So started doing confined space work, a lot of thermal imaging, and then there was pipelines, a variety of industrial inspection applications that we conducted there. And then from there, I started working for State Farm's research lab, where we joined up with Virginia Tech in the Mid-Atlantic Aviation Program. So I became a certified pilot through them, and then started working doing floodplain analysis. So mapping out the Gulf Coast of Florida, and then started doing natural disaster response. Unfortunately, due to COVID, that program was put on hold. So I ended up here at Adorama, where now our main focus is providing ground up solutions for all enterprise solutions. So public safety, engineering solutions, agriculture, basically any category you can think of in the drone industry. We're now pushing ourselves to become one of the industry leaders in all those categories. So anything you can imagine, from equipment and ground up training solutions, consulting, a variety of different aspects in the drone industry. So in our most recent venture is with BRINC Drones, which is why we're here today. I was fortunate enough to go out and do training with BRINC at their headquarters in Las Vegas, and became an instructor on the system. So now at Adorama, we have the ability to come out to your agency and get everybody that you need trained up on this system and put this amazing tool in your hands. With that said, I will turn things over to Angad for him to introduce his team and go over a little bit more about what they have going on.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Angad Singh, and I'm the Director of Business Development here at BRINC Drones, based in Las Vegas, Nevada. I just wanted to say thank you to Adorama for hosting this webinar today. And I think we're pretty excited to put ourselves in a vulnerable situation where we are going to live demo the drone that we have built, which is a purpose-built tool for SWAT teams for indoor tactical operations. Today, I'm going to be hosted by two of my colleagues, and quite frankly, folks that know much more about this system than I do. So first, we have Kevin Stevens. Kevin Stevens is our Director of Training here at BRINC Drones, and he's the former assistant team leader of a major metropolitan police department, their SWAT team. In addition, we have one of our manufacturing supervisors and subject matter expert on the LEMUR drone itself. Dmitriy is one of the head folks out here that's actually building, QA/QCing the drone, and we're going to have Dmitriy fly the drone for us today, just so that Kevin and I can focus on talking and answering your folks' questions. So just keep in mind that we will be taking questions, and if you have anything of interest, you're always welcome to reach out to Chad or myself after the webinar, and we'll connect you with the right individual, or we'll answer your questions ourselves. And so I just want to turn it over to Kevin. I'm going to turn the camera around so that I'm pointing it directly at Kevin. And I'm going to just let Kevin talk for a bit, introduce himself, and quite frankly, we're really humbled to have him on our team. We think he's an incredible asset, and his story is more powerful than my story in sharing why this technology is beneficial to society.
Hello, my name is Kevin Stevens. I just recently retired from a major city Western Police Department after 30 years of service. I had the privilege of coming over here and working for BRINC as the trainer director, which I'm excited about. And the reason I'm excited about it is I've seen this drone save not only my team's lives, but the lives of whom we're actually sworn to protect. This actual product will allow tactical team leaders and assistant team leaders to make decisions with on-site, real-time, accurate information as to what's happening inside of a residence. We had this debuted about 18 months ago on our SWAT team. And I can tell you, I was a little bit hesitant to see the drone in an operation that we had. Myself and the team leader had a barricade situation where we had breached the front door, and this LEMUR drone had come down the road, paused at the door, and cleared the entire residence for us. So not only were we able to make tactical decisions based on what was going on at the scene, it opened up different opportunities and options for us at that particular time. My role here at BRINC Drones is to be able not only mesh the technology to the tactical options that we have, but to be able to help the operators understand what the capabilities of this product can do. Two most important that you're going to see throughout our demonstration today is just the capability of this drone making it through small windows, doors, things that are either explosively breached, manually breached, or things that are left open by a suspect. We can get this drone inside the residence and to do two very critical things for operational decision making. One, instant eyes on. That's going to allow us to get inside and see what's going on inside the residence before we have to commit personnel inside the residence. Second is communication. You'll see in our demonstration here, I'll actually call the drone. We'll set it inside of a vehicle here so you can see the two-way communication. Not only can I communicate with the individual inside the residence, but the individual can talk to us. And we can give commands, very good de-escalation tool to not set in guys in that situation where there may be an officer-involved shooting or something that could push the suspect to do something different. So you'll see the capabilities of what we have, and the training that we're going to set up here is truly exciting. What we're going to do is not only teach you how to actually operate and fly the drone, understand how the drone actually works in real-time environments, but what we're going to be able to do is the fixability is unbelievable. Just yesterday in one of our training scenarios, we had this drone drop from about 15 feet going straight into a wall, and it was able to be fixed and serviced today to train. So you'll see a little bit of the durability. And for SWAT guys and SWAT operators, that's very important because we're used to handling things that is not too easy to operate. And I can tell you just from the stuff that I've been doing as I'm getting my pilot skills up, I've careened this thing into many things also, and it's up and running with a couple extra tools, and we're going to explain what that is. And finally, I would just like to make sure that everyone understands that this product is going to save lives. I can tell you that with many different robotic platforms, we know that when we deploy those inside residences, it's very difficult for these either wheeled robots or small handheld robots. They get in there and they just don't get too far just because of things that are on the floor. This LEMUR robot drone has an opportunity to get in, look on top of beds, look in closets. It can slightly push open interior doors. So this is really a good product to get your guys' eyeballs inside the residence to see and make further tactical decisions. So I'm excited to be a part of this demonstration day. And when you see the capabilities of what this drone can do, you'll be sold also.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, Kevin. And you know, when I'm a technology guy, right? You know, I'm a sales guy. I'm a nerd. I have been dealing with law enforcement for a long time. I was raised by a tactical operator, you know, my father. And so, but I am that nerd, and I feel a lot of, you know, really proud that we're able to bring technology to market, and we're able to be completely transparent and completely honest of all of its capabilities. And now when we go through the drone, if there's something that doesn't work super awesome, I'm going to share that with you, right? Like, notice how Kevin said, hey, this can push open ajar doors. If the door's closed, I'm sorry, we can't open that door. I apologize. But if the door is a little bit open, we're going to fly that drone. We're going to bang right through that door, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to continue to be able to clear that residence. And so now I'm going to stop talking again, and I'm going to transfer it over to Dmitriy, and I'm going to continue to talk while Dmitriy introduces the product to us. So Dmitriy here is going to show us what we get. He's going to set the drone up. He's going to take it out of the box, start it up. And as he does that, I'm just going to walk through this process. So this is the LEMUR drone. This is manufactured here in Las Vegas, Nevada, in our manufacturing facility. The room that we're actually in right now is attached to our manufacturing facility, and it's what we use for demonstrations as well as for training clients. This is the controller. So currently we've taken an off-the-shelf controller, and you can notice that it has some parts that we've soldered off. So we change it. We open it up. We add our own encryption algorithms. We change some of the components, and we make it specific for the LEMUR. And we're actually in process right now of fully prototyping our own American-made controller. Here we have the LEMUR drone on the ground. You'll notice that it's black. It has a low profile. It's pretty stealthy. It's made of a 3D printed carbon fiber that is then laser cut and then reinforced with nylon. So it's very robust. It has these metal bars on it so that, you know, it stays upright if it's turned upside down, or you can use it kind of almost as a battering ram to bang into stuff and push doors open. Dmitry here on his hands has the goggles, the first person view goggles that we use for flying the system. And it has 2 antennas. It's an encrypted video signal from the goggles to the pilot, and also to a command center if you want to live stream that video. And so the other thing is, notice it comes in a custom-made Pelican case. We use Pelican cases because we understand that that brand has an amazing reputation within the tactical world, and we know that folks respect that you can bang this thing around and it's going to protect your drone. When we sell the drone, the standard kit comes with a drone, 2 drone batteries, headset, the headset, the controller, a multi-charger for actually going through everything. And then, very important, and Kevin mentioned this, tool and spare parts. So every system that we send out there, we know we're sending them into robust situations. This is a tool for de-escalation. This is a tool for, you know, taking what could be an incredibly stressful situation and helping with that. And we know that sometimes things are going to happen. Suspects may be going to bang the drone. Someone's going to crash the drone. So we have designed it so that it can be very satisfactorily in-field repaired. Anyway, now I think let's actually fly this thing. Let's show you it working. Kevin, is there anything that, you know, maybe you want to mention while he's just turning it on?
Yeah, one of the things that we found out yesterday. So one of the practical problems, if you will, when you come to the training center here is where we can have this out of the box in the air in less than a minute. So we'll actually test you at that opportunity where you'll actually deploy the actual case on the ground. The pilot can actually have this system up and running in less than a minute. We actually tested our guys yesterday, did very well. We had guys down to 45 seconds getting this ready to go, which includes taking the actual controller out, turning it on, getting the LEMUR drone out, battery installed, the VR goggles on, and doing your pre-flight checks and in the air. So in under a minute, we can have an operator have this out of the Bearcat, up in the air, and on real-time scene photography within 1 minute. So you'll see here as we demonstrate this, if there's any questions at the end, I'd like to ask, because there's a couple things that's very tactical responsible, is that we can have this thing up pretty quick, because as situations are rapidly and changing, this instant eyes on, and you're going to be able to see what the pilot is actually looking at, and the actual precision maneuverability to get around obstacles is phenomenal. That gives you the opportunity to be able to not only see what you're doing, but to get that eyes on immediately to make further tactical decisions and other tactical options.
Awesome. And so
just to elaborate on that a little more, if I could for a second there, I just want to give some more credit to BRINC and Angad and Kevin and all the crew there. Everything that they're telling you right now, I got to experience firsthand, and I can absolutely verify that the way that they handle things there at BRINC, it almost feels like a family with how receptive they are, you know, to feedback, listening to public safety agencies. It's very important to them to understand the agency's needs and to make sure that those needs are implemented or resolutions are put into place to make sure that, you know, going forward that everything behind this is done the right way with the right mindset. So I definitely have to give credit to these guys, the way they handle things, the way they represent themselves, the level of training and professionalism. It's not a joke. These are not lines. This is something that, you know, being in law enforcement in my background, experiencing this, it's you guys do a phenomenal job, and you make that clear. So I wanted to, before you got up and flying, wanted to make sure that was known as well.
Hey, Chad, just one thing, and we appreciate that critique, but let me just assure the people watching this, and there may be guys that have been an operator longer than I was only a SWAT team operator for about 10 years, and the last 4 of it was an ATL, assistant team leader. If I can get a product inside of a residence before I have to put my friends in there, you're going to see, and I just want to say this before you start flying this, when we start flying up in the attic here, I want you to notice how precision flying, you can see this entire attic we're going to put you in. This is great, because if you have to send a dog up or guys up there, you can almost visually clear the entire attic with this product. And that is a big time deal, because we as SWAT operators, we have to clear attics. And you'll see not only capability up there, but if Angad, you could show the tactical structure, we're in the future going to be building an actual mock residence that's going to be practical problem based that not only when you learn how to fly this, you're going to come, we're going to be doing some reality-based training with this product to put you in situations that you're going to see broken drones, broken props, problems with the goggles. We're going to be putting you in real-time situations. So as you work with this product, you'll be able to feel really comfortable, not only operating and piloting, but in tactical situations that you'll be able to work yourself through. So with that, we'll get right to the drone and show you how this actually operates.
So Dmitry's just going to go ahead. He's going to arm the drone. And actually, we're going to start off with the drone upside down. So we're going to demonstrate that the drone works in turtle mode. And why is this important? Because what if somebody, knocks it out of the air when you're in a house? Or what if the pilot bangs it against a wall and it falls over, or is going up a set of stairs, or gets stuck on something, right? Turtle mode is the technical term for this, and it's very important. And I will say that it works best when there's no payload on the drone, and also when you're working with a fresher battery, because obviously props are, go ahead and flip it over. So props are designed to work in one direction. Turtle mode works in the opposite direction. So of course it takes a bit of power, but now we can see that this is a robust drone that can turn itself over if it gets knocked down while in the use of operations. And I know we're talking a lot. Let's get to flying. Go ahead, Dmitry. Let's fly it around, bang it into stuff, and I'll follow the drone and let you do the show. Yeah, and can you go through the house first if possible?
Kind of narrowly.
So here we'll see that it's flying. It's going into the house. We're going to come up, and I'm going to show you that it's coming out of the window. Precision flying. You can go through tight areas. We can get it to fly directly through the automobile and up. Now we'll show you that it can go up a set of stairs. So he's turning it around. He's going up a set of stairs. This drone, training is required with our product. And then now I'm going to switch to the TV, and we're going to show you flying through the tight attic space. Just so you know, I'm using an iPhone 12 camera to look at a TV and then show you that over a Wi-Fi signal. It looks better to me here in person than it does for you on the screen. Part of the reason we do training, part of the reason we do in-person demos. And you can see that it's flying through this very tight environment. Think about the hoarder-like situations, which typically SWAT operators tend to work in. That's just a factual statement. Don't take it any more than that. And quite frankly, the drone has been designed to be able to work in tight spaces. That's why it's a low-profile system. Dmitry did that for show. He definitely did that.
And also,
for show.
just I'm going to keep showing the screen. I just want the people watching this understand that is critical when you're trying to look for someone who's either low profile or inside of a structure. We're going to teach your operators how to not only fly this thing, but to get really good at looking around. Like, say, this is an example of being inside of a residence. Dmitry, if you can just stand there and give a 360 of when you go back in. I just want to show you that when a window is breached, whether it be through whatever means you're going to breach it, as Dmitry goes in, this could be a bedroom, a living room, a kitchen. Now we can pause in there, scan around, and do a 360 yaw, and now we can look all around inside the actual structure, and then he'll come out that door. This is really important for on-scene and real eyes capability to be able to see what's going on before you commit bodies in there. So that's a really good, not only tool, but gives more options in a tactical environment.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kevin.
We get I've been on a lot of vehicle barricades. Dmitry, if you can just hover by the driver's window for just a second. What's really nice about these vehicle barricades is we can actually hover and hold. We're going to talk a little bit about the light IR, where it will hold its altitude, and we can communicate right here without sending operators down range. And you're going to see just how easy we can even do a perch system where Dmitry landed on the front of the hood. So we can actually turn around and we can land this on the hood of the car, and it can sit here for up to 10 hours watching what's going on inside the car. We can now be sitting there looking at, and if you look at the screen here, what it's looking at, we can see everything that's going on inside the car, and that can sit up to almost 10 hours as it's sitting there as we're getting real-time video. Now, I get it that sniper teams can look in there with their magnification, but this not only allows us to see, but now we can communicate through the robot, which we'll demonstrate shortly.
Yeah. And Kevin said something really important there. I'm going to reiterate it. Our battery technology is industry leading. This drone will fly for up to 31 minutes on the battery system that we have in the back. And as you can see, this is a screw that you physically screw in to make sure that if the drone gets banged around and hits stuff, the battery's not going to pop out. It lasts 31 minutes. And Kevin then said something very critical. He said you can talk to a suspect for up to 10 hours. Our drone is the only drone in the world with two-way communication. We put a SIM card in it and you call it just like you're calling a cell phone. So it's a very powerful negotiation tool. In addition, the battery can last up to 10 hours if the motors are not running, and that's going to allow us to communicate with suspects and de-escalate a situation and be a tool for that, for de-escalation, for increasing time, and a very powerful tool for negotiation. Now, with this, should we show some of the different accessories that come with the drone?
Yeah, Dmitry, bring it back over to the
should we show night vision first?
Let's do that.
Let's do night vision. I apologize to our guys out there. We got to do night vision for you first. So we're going to go ahead and Dmitry's going to take the drone off. He's going to put it back up there in the tight environment, or actually, Dmitry, just fly through the house, if you will, and we'll switch the lights off. So Dmitry's going to fly the drone. I'm going to go to the TV, and Kevin's going to cut the lights. So now it's completely dark in this room, right? Pretty much completely dark. We have night vision on the drone, just like tactical goggles, so you can clearly see what's happening, even in any lighting condition. I think that's incredibly important to show people, and incredibly important for folks to understand, is that we really believe in this tool's capability to de-escalate situations and be a tool for really saving lives. We really do believe that. We have drank our own Kool-Aid here.
And let me add just one quick thing here. So this capability of the IR is absolutely essential in tactical environments, because one of our options is turning off actually the lights as a negotiation tool. Now we keep those lights off. We can come through a window, and yes, you can hear the drone, but you can't really see it because we're literally in a pitch black room. And what's nice about this, not only does it illuminate the entire area, we have full control over the drone itself in wherever we want it to go. We can perch it. We can continue to fly with it. Very good option when we actually cut power to deal with either a negotiation tool or to be able to see and have that darkness work in our favor.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Should we turn the lights back on and show some of the different accessories? Oh, the drone's actually right in front of me. I didn't even see it there. I didn't even realize I was about to walk into it. Yes, so we're going to show the spotlight first. We're going to try to do that quick. And then we're going to show you the next accessory. And I'm going to just show Dmitry while he's actually doing this. So sorry, let me just reset the gimbal. Okay, so here, it's a Pelican case with our 4 accessories in it. Dmitry, just go ahead and I'll just talk while you're working here.
I'm going to show the accessories.
Yeah. Do you want to show the accessories?
Just have Dmitry show the accessories.
Okay, so this is the floodlight attachment. So our drone is designed to hold up to 4 accessories that we've custom built for this tool. This is a very powerful floodlight that just gets powered in and powered by the drone, and it gets attached with 3 screws. And we send the screwdriver with the kit, etc. So you have all the tools to do this. Eventually we'll probably have thumb screws that you can just use your hands to screw in, but today it's far more robust to use this system. So, right, we're trying to really go for robustness with this. There are 4 different accessories that come with this drone. There is the glass breaker, which we will show you. This is obviously the one that is the wow factor, right? This is a breaching tool only. This basically can spin up to 30,000 RPMs, and it's made of tungsten carbide, so it's very strong, and it can go and it'll break glass, and we'll show you that in a minute here. But this is for breaching only, and this is also part of the reason that we only sell to public safety agencies, and we require training for this system to go out there. We don't want anyone to misconstrue what this is used for. It is a breaching tool, and it allows operators to breach a building and to talk to a suspect from a safe distance, right? We want to really keep enforcing that idea that these are tools for nonviolence. These are tools for making sure that everybody on both sides of the aisle stays safe. In addition, we have a payload dropper, which can drop up to 1 pound. This is incredibly helpful for adding for negotiations, because you can drop water or snacks or a pack of cigarettes to somebody and help them through that negotiation and help rectify the situation in a nonviolent way. In addition, we have a terrestrial payload dropper. For a lot of folks out there that may not know, when we fly inside, the FAA does not control that airspace. That is uncontrolled airspace. This is very, very powerful, because it means that as long as an agency has a COA or Part 107, that only applies for outside. We have some agencies that, they're in major areas, they're near a an airport, right? We want to make sure that they're not violating any FAA rules. And so if they're flying in a no-fly zone, you can put this terrestrial robot mount onto a terrestrial robot or the hood of a vehicle, etc., and you can get it to get near the house or into the front door of the house and then fly off this, so you're never violating any airspace. I think that's really important to note. Do we have the lights on here? Dmitry, do you want to just turn it on and we'll show them how powerful these lights are? Yep.
We can do it would be nice. Let's take them with night vision and IR into the room here and then turn on the actual spot.
Perfect.
It works both. And
Perfect.
We'll just do a quick little loop upstairs to show how powerful light is.
Yeah. So Dmitry's going to go ahead. He's going to put the goggles back on. We're going to take the drone off. And we're going to cut the lights, and I'm going to go back to the TV to show you the live stream. Drone's up. IR. That's with the lights, right? So now you can see that with the IR illuminators on the drone, plus the lights, it's significantly more, ambient lighting condition and even clearer able to see than before. So you can see actually that it's illuminating the room more, and there's the drone going up with the lights underneath. Awesome. Thank you so much, Dmitry.
We'll have them bring it down.
Yeah. Dmitry, do you want to let's
turn off the spotlight real quick so they can see the difference in just IR. So you'll see just the IR. You'll start to see some of the attic debris kick up. But when you turn on the spotlight, turn on the spotlight, you notice it reduces some of that so you can see a little more clearly. So as he brings it back down, you'll be able to see how much, when he comes back into the main room, how much illumination comes from this extra spotlight.
Absolutely. So one of the reasons that we keep showing this drone going through tight spaces is because, oh, awesome. Thank you, Dmitry. Let's go ahead and let's put the payload dropper on it. I think, hey, Chad, really quickly, what's the time check?
We're just about 30 minutes in right now, just a little under.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure that we're not talking too much about the drone, and we do have questions and answers to go through at the end. So he's going to go ahead. He's going to take off the light, and we're going to put on the payload dropper. And I'm just showing you guys that happening. Yeah, perfect. A lot of folks out there. So this is for the audience, right? People ask the question, what really differentiates your drone from other drones? Why is this purpose built for indoor? Well, quite frankly, this has no GPS on the drone. It is a GPS denied drone. There's no GPS unit. It only uses a 1-point LiDAR, which is a laser that maintains altitude of the system at one particular location. And that allows you to do an altitude hold when you're flying the system. But because there's no obstacle avoidance sensors, because there's no GPS, you're never going to have a software update that's going to, not allow you to take off.
Just explain how we do the.
Oh, okay.
We hook this up, so this is kind of short on time.
Yeah. One second. So this is the payload dropper, and it's just basically one servo on a mount. So we take these zip ties, right? Go ahead. Yeah. And we put the zip tie and we attach it to that and we close it. Okay. And now, yep. And then Dmitry's just going to go ahead and he's going to fly it. We're going to take it off with the pack of raisins on the bottom, and he's going to go ahead and drop it to Kevin across the room. Yeah. Awesome. And so the payload has been dropped, and that can do about up to 1 pound. So now I'm just going to, while Dmitry and Kevin go ahead and change the payload there, I'm just going to talk through that idea of flying inside again. This is a GPS denied drone. We will never have a geofence that locks you from flying in a situation. This is a tool purpose-built for public safety. I think a lot of people, so Blake Resnick is our CEO. He's our visionary. Obviously, he doesn't like it when I call him a visionary, you know, because he thinks that's ridiculous, but I really do believe in his vision for the future. And that is a vision of really helping folks. He's a really good heart. So after October 1, the October 1 shooting, the mass shooting at Mandalay Bay here in Las Vegas, Blake cold called the Las Vegas SWAT team and he says, hey, I think I could build you a robot that could help. Now, like a lot of SWAT teams, a lot of tactical operators, they kind of stood there. They're like, we're not really going to take that cold call. But Blake's persistent. He kept trying. And then the lieutenant of the SWAT team at the time said, okay, fine, we'll go to coffee. They go to coffee. They talk about the system. They talk about the ideas. And then, you know, the lieutenant leaves and Blake goes home. And then Blake goes into the garage and he starts working on R&D. And 3 months later, he goes to Las Vegas SWAT. He goes to that same lieutenant again. He calls him. He says, sir, I have something to show you. Do you mind if you can get some stakeholders in a room and we can go ahead and show this product off? And so Blake does that. He goes to the SWAT team. He shows the product. And then a lot of the guys in the back of the room that, you know, had their arms crossed across their chest saying, I don't know how I feel about this. Like, why are we getting this piece of technology? This doesn't, you know, make any sense. Some of them came forward and they said, hey, can we please work for you? Let's help refine this product. Let's make this better. And after that, Sean, our lead test pilot in the office, as well as Blake Resnick, our CEO and founder, he went on over 20 different ride-alongs and call-outs, etc. And he tested every part of this system to make sure that it was purpose-built for SWAT teams to clear the inside of houses. That's why it has no obstacle avoidance sensors, because the second that you put an obstacle avoidance sensor on it, it's not going to go through the door. It's not going to go through the hallway. It's just not going to work. Our system also has software in it, right? That special sauce where if you put the drone up against a wall, usually induction will have the drone flip over like this. Ours will not do that. So actually some operators will put the system up against a wall and they'll use the wall almost like a support, like you would just put your shoulder up against a wall and move forward in a hallway. They'll do the same thing with the drone, the same type of technique. I think that's really important for folks to know. So really this product was inspired by the tragic events of October 1, and that we hope that we can use this as a tool for de-escalation and safety of officers and suspects to really make the future of our country and the future of the world a better place. And we really do believe that. And so now this is the tungsten carbide glass breaker, and we're going to break some glass. Yeah.
Explain the glass breaker. He's going to.
So the glass breaker is made of tungsten carbide. It has a motor on it. It spins up to 30,000 RPMs, but you do not need to ever get it up to 30,000 RPMs. This is only for breaching. This is a breaching tool. We can do up to two panes of glass. We've done 3 panes of residential glass. It works pretty well on auto glass. It doesn't do a great job with tint. Tint kind of keeps the whole glass together. So typically I would show you breaking glass on the BRINC Drones official training vehicle, but unfortunately we've already broken all the windows in this. So now we just go ahead to the junkyard, we get glass and we break it on the floor.
Show them the spinning. So on the controller, explain the controller where the,
yeah. So this is a dial on the top of the controller. So go ahead and it's in Kevin's hand. So let's be a little careful.
It's fine. We tested it.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and spin it. And so there it's spinning. That is the tungsten carbide glass breaker. And now, Dmitry, let's go ahead and break some glass. Hopefully this works on the first try.
Make sure you explain whenever you're doing this in training, you need eye protection.
Yes, yes. That's why Kevin has eye protection, and I'm a 4 eyes, so I got glasses on anyways. And now we're gonna go ahead and break some glass.
Why don't you come over on this side so you can see a little better?
Oh, that worked perfectly. And also the glass went everywhere. So the tungsten carbide, detector on the glass itself, it's designed to break glass laterally, which means that it's going to break the glass to the left and the right of the window rather than out forward towards individuals. And this is designed, right? It's also part of the mechanics of how it works anyways, but it's a good thing because it makes sure that we don't have glass flying everywhere, as well as make sure that glass doesn't go into the propellers of the drone, when the drone does that. And so typically when we provide this product to SWAT teams, actually, Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that you need to make sure when we're talking about this glass breaker is to hit it high on the window, because you don't want to be in the middle or lower, because then the glass will fall down on top of the drone. So on that one, we hit it high and we're able to actually back off. We actually in our training, we'll show you actually how to hit the top of the glass, pull back, the glass falls, and you can go right into the window and clear the resins.
Absolutely.
Do the communication.
And now we're going to do the communication. Now we're going to show you one of the most important parts of the product. This is the only drone in the world with two-way communication. So we put a SIM card in the drone and you just call it like a normal cell phone number. This is the only drone that does that in the world. This is actually from one of the lead negotiators of one of the SWAT teams that we did a lot of ride-alongs with initially. They said, hey, it would be super cool if we could go ahead and talk to my suspects, right? So typically in negotiations, they have a throw phone or a type of robot with a loud microphone and speaker on it that they can use to talk to a suspect, or sometimes they would drop a radio, etc. Well, we thought, well, wouldn't it be super cool if the drone was just a cell phone itself? And so Blake went ahead and he built that. And so that is the only drone in the world today with two-way communications, and it's through a cell phone, not through the controller. And it works very robustly. It's used by a couple SWAT teams in this country on a large majority of their call outs. We're a pretty new company. We're new on the block, right? I mean, obviously we've been launching, different distributors of the product like Adorama here that we're, really happy that they're hosting this webinar for us. And now we're really going up in production. I think we have an amazing team with some amazing folks. I was previously at a different drone company called Pix 4D. I was leading public safety sales there. And then I was very impressed with this system. So I came over to BRINC Drones. My vice president of sales and marketing, Brett Kanda, he's formerly from FLIR. He was doing global distribution of all of the FLIR cores for drones, basically globally. In addition, our director of supply chain, he was formerly at SpaceX for many, many years, 8 to 9 years, as well as before that, doing supply chain for the DoD, for the Navy. Our lead electrical engineers come from Raytheon. We have autonomy engineers from different autonomous car startups. We have manufacturing techs that have been in the drone world for 10 plus years. And everybody that comes here, nobody has ever been asked to come in early or stay late, and everybody does it just out of the passion in their hearts. I'm having so much fun working here, so much fun having SWAT teams from federal, local, state come in and out, do training here in the office, test out the system, doing demos in the field. Some of you may see, if you start going like #LEMUR on LinkedIn, you're going to start to see people posting videos of this system, because there's never been anything like it, right? There's never been a tool that's been specifically designed for tactical indoor flight. And we think that's really amazing. They're just making sure that the two-way communication is working. It's potentially possible that the SIM card ran out of minutes. If that's the case, I sincerely apologize. Literally, we were testing this earlier this morning and it worked perfectly. So they're just going to go ahead and call the phone one more time, and then we'll go ahead and put it on.
You give me a call, Dmitriy? Yeah, give me a call.
Okay, Kevin's going to go ahead and try and call it again. Seriously, if we ran out of minutes on the SIM card, I'm terribly sorry. I had a full conversation through this drone like an hour ago. So you can hear the static coming from the speaker. It's a really, really powerful speaker. And anyway, while they're figuring that out, hey, Chad, you got any questions for me?
Yeah, there's several questions that have come through, as well as some that were sent to us prior to the start here. So what are some of the main applications you see with the LEMUR outside of tactical uses?
So today we've been working exclusively with SWAT teams, domestic SWAT teams, to bring this tool to them, right, as a tactical drone for indoor flying. I've had a lot of firefighters look at it for different demos, and they've said that this could be a powerful tool with the glass breaker attachment available. If you had to break a window to gain access to rescue someone from a multi-story building, I think that would be very powerful. If the top floor of a structure was unstable after a fire event, being able to fly the LEMUR through that complex environment instead of a human being have to walk on an unstable floor. I think that would be a very powerful event capability for this. Really, this is not a tool for Overwatch. This is not a tool for outdoor search and rescue. This is truly a tool for indoor tactical operations and aiding SWAT teams and becoming increasingly de-escalating any violent situations. Right? Every SWAT operator, every police officer wants to get home to their families at the end of the day. It's a real pleasure to be able to work with these guys. They constantly are putting more time and putting their hearts on the line, and there's a lot of camaraderie, and they're public safety, right? They're keeping us safe. And so to be able to give them a tool that enables them to work in a bigger, less stressful environment, I think is very powerful. So I do see the applications for fire. I see the applications for searching through complex environments, such as tight tunnel structures, et cetera. I mean, Chad, you were a law enforcement officer for a long time. You're also a technologist. What are some other applications that you think of this could work with?
I mean, coming off the top of my head, I immediately think, if there was a natural disaster type situation, I did natural disaster response in my past with drones, but that was, from way up in the air doing large scale mapping around that. But being on the ground and seeing the fact that, homes were just completely taken off their foundation and there were people missing, in tight environments, so for tornadoes, earthquakes, things like that, if there's rubble with passageways through it, possibly, there may be applications for search and rescue for additional situations like that.
Awesome. Hey, Chad, let's show the two-way communication on the phone. So here we have Kevin's iPhone. He's just gone ahead. He's called the number. Now it's working. Now we have the drone. Kevin's going to walk outside. Kevin's going to walk outside, and we're just going to have a talk through this. So Kevin's going to go outside and. Yep.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Okay, so we give verbal command what we want the suspect to do. You guys could talk to me just for a second for test. Perfect. I can hear you guys. Okay, I want your hands up. We'll basically give them commands, exactly what they can do. We can actually talk them right out of the resident with the LEMUR. One of the things that's really unique about this product is it does get their attention very quickly. So if we can start to give verbal commands, not only in a barricade situation, but in situations you guys were talking about, if there's any hazmat leaking or anything like that, we can send the drone in and give people direction through the drone out of safe distance.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Kevin. I hope that came through clear through the webinar here. All he did was call the cell phone number and it worked. So I think we just had to unscrew the microphone and put it back in. So anyway, apologies for that little technical delay. But yeah, it's a robust system. It works. It can get kicked around. You can bang it into doors, etc. More than happy to host anybody here in Las Vegas if they want to fly out, check it out. We've been doing demos. This week, we've actually done 3 demos on the road. I know that I'll be, Adorama will be hosting a demo of this system in Wisconsin next week. And then the following week after that, I'll be going through the northern New Jersey area with Chad from Adorama, doing demos of the system through New England. This week, we had demo teams in Louisiana, San Antonio, Texas, as well as one other place. To be honest, I don't remember. Our teams are going all across the country demonstrating this product. Typically, the way that we do demos is we have an active duty SWAT officer take a day off and go do the demo for us, or we have somebody that was from law enforcement do this demo rather than me as a salesperson doing it, because we want to demonstrate to people that this is really a tool that cops believe in. And that's something that I've 100% found to be true as we move forward. So anyway, Chad, thank you so much. Let's go into the Q&A of this portion of this webinar. Dmitry, thank you so much for demonstrating different aspects of the drone. And so now I got Kevin Stevens. He's our director of training. Chad, let's just go through some of the questions that we may have.
Okay, and just to touch on your last point as well, Angad, when it comes to training and being able to go out and do demos and things like that, an advantage that we offer with Adorama in collaboration with you guys is myself and some other individuals within our company have the ability to come out and train at your agency versus sending a whole team all the way out to Las Vegas. So we make things, in some cases a little more accessible to our clients. I know sometimes people get fearful of, sending whole teams to travel in another city and to do these types of trainings and things like that. So to offer that additional service for us to come to those agencies is something definitely I wanted to put out there for anybody watching to understand as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kevin has total quality control over all the trainings that are going out. We want to make sure that we're teaching a standardized curriculum. We want to make sure that everybody that's teaching this system is very competent at training. I mean, Chad's an unbelievable guy. So we got a lot of love for Chad out there talking about this product. So thank you, Chad. And just like Chad said, training is required for the system. We're putting this in the hands of operators. We want them to be confident to use it in a stressful environment. Training is 100% critical in that, right?
Yeah. And one of the things is this is a tool, right? So we train in breaching, we train in entry tactics. This is another tool. That's all this is. This tool, as we're slowly designing the standardization of how we want the training to go, starting with nomenclature, to be able to understand all the pieces and parts of the actual LEMUR, how it operates, how to fix it in the field. Chad, you remember we had fixed broken props. We had to fix different things in the actual drone. We're gonna make you feel comfortable. Our second little block of instruction will be actually knowing the battery and how to maintain the batteries and how the batteries work in around the system. The charger that the actual LEMUR comes with charges both the LEMUR battery, your VR goggle battery, and your controller. So you can have that one battery charger set up for all three of your systems. So you can be operationally ready to go under that minute, as what we had talked about. Next, we're going to go into why it's really important to understand your pre and post-flight checks, because what we're going to be able to show you with this kit when you come to training is how quickly you can get up in the air. And that's why those post-flight checks are so important. We're going to drill that into our students. So when that LEMUR goes back into the case, it is ready to go when you pull it out of the Bearcat, the van, the command center, whatever you have that in. And then from there, we'll go over your accessories. We're going to go over the patching, how to actually send this signal farther. So you're going to have a wide range of skills and an obstacle course that we're building that you're flying the actual LEMUR drone through to prepare you for our testing procedure. So it's going to be an exciting training for you to come and do. And we'll explain why it's important. And you'll feel very comfortable when you leave here, not only how to operate the drone, but why it's tactically necessary, why this option can give you better, not only de-escalation, but better eyes on and communication inside whatever situation you're in.
Yeah, absolutely. So getting into some of the questions here. One question that came in before the webinar started was about any issues with signal interference. Are you guys noticing anything, through dense walls or things like that you're having any issues with?
This is an awesome question. Part of the reason that a lot of systems on the market don't operate technically well indoors is because of signal penetration, getting the video feed out. We went to NYPD, we did a demo for them. And part of the demo was they asked us to put it in a bunker that had 6-foot thick concrete walls. I believe that we're the only company that's ever gotten video signal out of that environment. Today, so there's different tactics, right? And obviously Kevin's the expert on the tactics, so he'll talk to this. But I went on a call out with the team that we flew the system from inside the Bearcat directly in front of the residence. There's other teams that are a little larger that have different operations. And what they do is they set up a tack a couple houses down and they fly, they have the pilot sitting there, and then they put a video receiver repeater box kind of staged forward near the residence. And you could be flying from...
We've had, typically on our agency, we had them at least 2, 3, even sometimes 4 houses down, and we've barely had any problems with signal. We live in kind of Las Vegas here. We live in a very forgiving environment for signal because everything's built out of stucco and chicken wire. However, if you get back toward the East Coast where you're in a lot more brick structures, that signal may diminish. But I've seen maybe a few times where the signal has been lost, but for the vast majority of the time, we have not had any problems losing the signal.
Very good. And one other question that has come up, looks like multiple times it's been asked about the pricing behind everything. Would you mind going over the pricing real quick on the unit and all the accessories?
So the kit, the LEMUR kit is $8,999. That means that we try to get every line item on this product under $10,000. And we did that because we want this tool to be in the hands of as many SWAT teams as possible. Even though we're trying to get all the parts to be American made. And for example, some of the chipsets, it's 7 times more expensive to make electronic chipsets in the United States than if you get made abroad. But we're trying really hard to make sure that all the electronics and all the parts are from the United States. That even though our profit margin goes down significantly, it doesn't matter. The drone is $8,999, and there are no intention to change that price ever. A LEMUR kit comes with a Pelican case, 2 batteries, the VR goggle headset, the hand controller, spare parts, spare tools, as well as the charger, and then of course the Pelican case itself the drone comes in. Then typically, typical PO is 4 line items. It's training, which is $2,500. The $8,999 for the LEMUR kit, so $9 grand. $3,000 or $2,999 for the video receiver box, which allows you to basically live stream that video over the internet, which is something that we're setting up now and currently basically to a TV unit. And then the 4th line item is the accessories box, which is the glass breaker, the lights, the payload dropper, as well as the terrestrial robot mount that comes in its own Pelican case, and that's $2,500. No, $1,999, $2,000. My apologies. So basically, you buy 2 systems with all the accessories and the training, it's $25,000. If you buy 1 system with all the accessories and training, it's $16,000. We really push folks to buy 2 systems. It's much more robust. If something happens, you have a backup. So we really ask that teams buy 2 systems.
Okay. One more quick question, and then we'll wrap things up here. I know we're getting really close on time, so hopefully we'll get a quick answer on this one. What distance can the video feed be sent?
So the technical answer is 8 miles, right? If you're in complete line of sight, perfect signal, it's going to be 8 miles. Like Kevin said, with more concrete, more brick, more metal, stucco, it's going to go down, right? It depends. But at the end of the day, we probably still have the best signal penetration on the market today for when it comes to getting video feed out of a complex structure. That's the fact. So yes, you can fly from a couple houses down. You can get video to come through a couple different walls. It's very good video.
And the repeater helps.
The repeater helps.
The repeater helps a lot. We use that on our team when I was active, and I can tell you that repeater helped us a lot. And again, at the house, I do live in a stucco environment, so a lot of our houses we're not penetrating through solid brick, but you have to test it in your area. That's even with robots and things like that. Signal is always going to be a question. That's why when we preach in our training area, I just said this yesterday in our class. So you need to go out once you get your LEMUR, go out in the areas and test what your signal is going to be, so you can be prepared for that.
Yeah, that sounds great. Well, looks like we're closing up on time here, so I just want to thank you guys, Angad, Kevin, Dmitry, for doing the flying today. Really an absolute class act with BRINC Drones. Absolutely thrilled to be working with you guys. If there are any follow-up questions, anybody can reach out to us at abs@adorama.com. We'll be happy to share more information, answer any other questions you guys may have around the LEMUR, and then as well, any other ground up solutions you have, any other public safety needs, feel free to reach out, and we'll happily work with you on anything you can come our way. With that said, we'll wrap this up, and we'll hopefully hear from you guys soon.
Thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate it.
Stay safe.
Thank you.